Jesse and I were actually talking about this in terms of like, you know, we're about to co-direct something together, and the like looking for models that are not that, that are not this sort of like male auteur driven, leave the crazy genius alone and nobody come to them with any ideas.
Exactly.
Or like it's one person's vision, you know, like.
Well, exactly.
I really believe there are and there are plenty of examples of incredible and movies that have gone on to have great success that were directed by two people.
Yes.
But more than that, like, we are two women. We are going to be acting in it too. We are first-time filmmakers at this level. And it's like we get to invent what that looks like.
Yes.
Because if you can't find the model, like, you create it for yourself. And just because there isn't precedent doesn't mean something can't work.
100%. And I'm so glad you're bringing this up, because I think this highlights whether you work in this business or any business, and especially I think for younger people coming up, the importance of a model of, well, that person can do it. You know, it's an Oprah thing. I'll just quote Oprah every day, all day.
Please.
But like, if you can see it, you can believe it.
Yes.
Let's talk for a brief moment, if we could. I think when I first became aware of you, as did the rest of the planet, was when you were playing Jackie O on The Crown.
What? My stomach like does a flip. Just
well, I imagine, we've actually never talked about this. I imagine that is like heavy as the head that wears the crown, literally.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
But, I mean, you get that part. Is that a moment of not just like pinch me, but like many people have played this part? She is an icon, beyond icon. The Crown is one of the biggest shows in the world.
Yes. She's an American hero.
She sure is.
Yeah. And to add, not insult to injury, it was all just a blessing, and the most, talk about like up there with one of my most sort of satisfying creative experiences, in part because it was so scary and challenging. I was a mega fan at the time.
Totally.
In fact, I was finishing the final episode of season 1 in a bed on a laptop when an email notification popped up on the top screen right that said, "Can you fly?" I saw how reps in this town, like the email is like one sentence and it's sometimes half the subject and then it finishes the sentence in the email. Like, "Can you fly to New York to meet Stephen Daldry?" I was on Vancouver Island, about not as far away on this continent as you could be from two poles.
Yes.
And I flew the next day. It was like a 24-hour trip. Right before Christmas. I flew to New York. At the time, hadn't spent much time there. And was like walking from my hotel through the cobbled streets of Soho to
wrapped up tight in winter, and
to this little apartment in Soho as well, like coolest place to have a meeting with the director. Walked up, he made me an espresso, he chain smoked while we like read very casually some pages and talked about Jackie, and in that meeting he was like, "Well, we have to make sure Netflix is okay, but I'd love you to do it." In the meeting,
which we should say never happens.
Doesn't happen.
So rarely.
Certainly in my experience.
I was going to say, especially as you're coming up. Like, of course that happens as you get to a certain level. But this is really, you'd been a working actor, but you hadn't had something on that level yet.
No, yeah.
So holy shit. So you're holding your breath. And also, where do you find, because I'm always curious about this. I am not an actor, obviously, but I certainly have plenty of times where like something exciting is there's a potential of it, but you don't know if it's actually going to happen. I have trouble with that. As an actor,
it's constant.
Are you holding it's like, we can be both, as I tell my kids, right? It can be both. Are you holding the space for, oh my God, I might get this. This might really happen and I want to be positive and believe. But also, this could totally go away.
1,000%.
How are you holding
dance? That? Yeah, I don't know. And then like, you know, the other voice that pops into my head is like, you believe it, because people say that manifesting is a thing. So just believe it. And then there's the other part of me that's like, you can't plan your life around this. So I tentatively get the job. I get on a plane to go back to Canada, and by the time I land, it's Christmas Eve, and I get the call saying
oh my God. So thank God. I was going to say, how long were you in purgatory for?
Stephen Daldry, I think Netflix is like, whatever you want, Stephen. And then shortly after, I begin prep, because the prep was extensive. I learned French. I had an incredible French.
Did not speak French ahead of
No. I think I'd taken some classes.
You're so good.
But by the way, kudos to like really do credit to this production and that like the attention to detail. That French I spent 3 weeks coaching on as well with a different coach, Laurence Winkler, his name is from William Conacher, who was my Jackie dialect sound coach, who was at that time coaching everybody on The Crown.
Yep.
He's one of the greats in the world. So I was like dialect, French, research on Jackie with a whole research team that The Crown offers to you.
Oh, I love this. I love knowing this.
And so the French is a funny one in particular because like that level of detail. And we then flew. So I was also over there for 6 weeks to do one episode, which I think we were, I mean, it was a very hefty episode, but I think we were in like
what I was gonna say.
4 different locations, including Budapest, for 3 days to shoot what became a like 30-second intercut flashback memory in the apology scene where Jackie goes back to the Queen to apologize.
Yes.
We went and shot for 3 days, and that's where I spoke French.
Okay. We should also say most people have seen The Crown at this point. It is a very hefty episode, and the French part of it. So it is, I haven't watched it in a long time, but it is very famously, and I'm going to butcher this probably, but
We'll butcher it together.
JFK says, I am the man who accompanied Jacqueline Kennedy to Paris.
Yes.
And that is because her French is so good.
Yes.
And she is so beautiful and charming and so Jackie that she's already taken the world by storm, but it, like the icon status gets even further cemented.
Yeah.
And then there's that
I mean,
famous
she lived
quote.
there, she studied there, so she was very at home there, I think, in some ways.
So there's intimidating factors coming into this, to say the least. But
I mean, on my first day, we were in Clarence House on the mall, like I could see Buckingham Palace through the window, and it's just me and Claire Foy all day. And when I said mega fan, I mean, like, I'm not a fan of a lot of things. Like, I sometimes worry about myself. I'm like, are you okay?
it's funny, you're not the first person to sit here and say
Really?
that. Yes, and I am like a psychotic fan
I
of
know,
everything.
and I love like I'm like, God, what musician do I want to like line up to get tickets for? Like nobody. I'm so sorry. Of her and of the show, I was
Claire Foy is second to none.
I was managing a panic attack that day, I think, probably.
Well, that's what, again, I always admire so much about actors because you will hear stories like this a lot, but it's you betray not 1 ounce of that on screen.
Well, just like use it. Like all I can do is use it at this point.
Exactly.
Jackie's probably really nervous too. She's meeting the Queen.
Yes. Yes.
So, you know, like what am I going to do? Like I'm a professional and I wasn't like a
exactly.
mess,
And you rose to the occasion and then some. I mean, though it's incredible. What
it was
you do
so
there.
fun.
So that was really when I first became sort of aware of you. And then was For All Mankind right after that?
Was it?
Or was Ted Lasso right after that?
No, For All Mankind was after it. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Wow. You know my chronology better than I do.
I did a little bit of prep. Not too much. Don't give me too much credit. Ted Lasso is then after that?
Yes.
That was a really exciting time. I didn't know anything about what your character was going to be. I was so excited that you were going to be on it. And
was I doing that when we met? No, I was in Ireland. I was in Ireland.
Yes, you were doing
I was somewhere.
Freud's Last Session?
Yes.
With Sir Anthony Hopkins?
Yes.
No big deal?
Yeah.